Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you on a Monday, late afternoon from the Portland, Vancouver area. And I don't have any huge changes to my forecast, although weather models seem to be coming into agreement that if we get some hot weather later this week, it may only be for a couple of days, and I'll get to that. Also, showers continuing. I want to remind you real quick here on the left that we're still looking at the parade of planets, seven visible planets. This was a possibility to see in the dawn hour of this morning. Now, keep in mind, sun up in Portland this morning was 5:23. It will be 5:23 again tomorrow. So basically, we're talking about the 4 o'clock hour to around 5 o'clock for the best chance to see these planets. However, it was cloudy this morning. Probably going to be cloudy for a good chunk of our state tonight into tomorrow morning. So I think our best chance for viewing will be Wednesday dawn, when we could be partly cloudy to mainly clear across a good chunk of our area. Now, keep in mind that with the human eye, you're basically going to only probably see the potential for a couple of these planets. I think it was Saturn and Mars that Jim Todd, the director of science and space weather at OMSI, was saying would be the two planets that either with the naked eye or with binoculars you might be able to see. And as you know, planets to us basically look like, with to the naked eyes, bright stars out there, if you will. But if you have a telescope and you have a map, you would be able to see some of these other planets that are on this graphic. You know, Mercury, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, Mercury. So that's kind of a cool story to just keep you updated on. That Wednesday, there's still hopes that we'll see some of that. Meanwhile, still dry weather expected Wednesday after showers tonight and showers tomorrow. And then some warming. I still think we have a chance to hit 90 degrees a couple of days. This Friday, Saturday. I'm going to get into that. The model still differs somewhat on how warm or hot and how many days could be hot. And I'll be getting into that as well. In the meantime, a big shout out to the Momentous Wealth podcast. This is a podcast put out by Todd Pisarcek and his firm, Momentous Wealth Management, located in Vancouver, Washington, but licensed in Oregon and Washington. And Todd does a variety of different topics to educate you on investing and what to expect and keep track of your retirement funds. Apple Podcasts and Spotify to find all of that. Okay, let's get you going. A couple of things to update you on. Number one, we have this wind advisory in place. I'm talking about this kind of tan orange color right here from the Dalles along 84 all the way out through Pendleton into the foothills of the Blues, then up through the Columbia Basin. This is still in effect until 11 o'clock tonight. I know a lot of you in this area along 84 out east have seen wind gusts of at least 40 miles per hour, and the advisory was issued earlier this morning for the potential of 50 to 55 mile per hour winds. So still breezy to windy out there. And there's also, this map doesn't show it, but there's also a wind advisory right here in tan that has been issued for Seattle down to Olympia and Hoquiam. This advisory goes into the morning hours of tomorrow, and it is for 40 to 45 mile per hour west wind gusts. The weather system coming in tonight into tomorrow that will bring some more rain will probably bring heftier amounts up north and also brings the threat of some gustier winds. We've been breezy like 20 to 25 at times here in Oregon, a little bit more of a wind threat and a heavier rain threat for our neighbors up to the north. So we're keeping an eye on all of that into tomorrow as well. Here's the satellite picture. So out here, this doesn't have the states on it, but right here is Portland, okay, Oregon, Washington. So now we're pushing east of Idaho, the clouds and the front that brought us the steady rain that we had on Sunday. That is now moving out into the Rocky Mountains. Meanwhile, see this little solid cloud band right here. This is increasing rain this evening, overnight tonight, into tomorrow morning for parts of our area. And this will break into fewer scattered showers during the day on Tuesday. And then eventually that's it. We'll be all dry later Tuesday overnight and Wednesday and start a long dry period. Now, there is a trailing front back in here. What this doesn't show you is that there's going to be ridging building here, which will hold this actual front off to our northwest, and that will never come in. So we're just looking at this ball of moisture being pushed out ahead of it. that will come in during the day, or excuse me, later this evening, tonight, and tomorrow for some increased rain. And let's go ahead and take a look at what the National Blended Model shows in terms of rain. By the way, we did pick up 2 to 3 inches of rain on average, not across all areas, but parts of the Cascades, including Mount Hood and the Washington Cascades and parts of the Coast Range, especially up in the Willapa Hills. There were rain amounts over 3 inches as of earlier this morning. We did pick up an inch to an inch and a half along parts of the coast, especially the North Oregon coast up into the Washington coast. And we picked up right about an inch of rain here in Portland. So overall, this elongated fetch of moisture that we tracked for yesterday into last night into today did what it was expected to be. A lot of people were throwing out the terms atmospheric river. I think I threw it out once. But basically it was a 24-hour to 30-hour event of some rain, elongated fetch of moisture, and that was it. I never really thought it was going to turn into much, and it didn't. There was a mudslide earlier this morning along 101 north of Manzanita along the Oregon coast. That was kind of interesting. Anyway, here we are at 5 p.m. See all the rain in green. Here's that rain increasing this evening. And then here we are overnight tonight. Now notice there's a lot more rain from Portland northward and a lot less to the south. I mean, it's almost night and day difference, right? This is Tuesday morning. Same thing, a lot more pushing across all of Washington, not that much pushing across much of Oregon. And then here we are getting into Tuesday afternoon. The main push of moisture is gone. We're looking at scattered showers, mostly over the Cascades, and then quickly becoming completely dry into Wednesday morning across all of our 2-state areas. I think here in Oregon, we'll be looking at 1/4 of an inch of rain or less. Better chance of there being heftier amounts, 1/4 to 3/10 to 1/2 of an inch up in parts of Washington with that system coming in. Now, the other story with dry weather coming in on Wednesday and staying with us for a while and ridging taking place is what are the temperatures going to do? So this is the American GFS model. This is Friday afternoon, a day that I'm forecasting in Portland, 91 degrees. Now, the model output of the GFS is often not high enough. So this shows 84, 86 around Multnomah County and out into Washington County, 80 down in Salem. I just told you not high enough. So I think there's a chance we hit 90 and 80 degrees up in Seattle, and you can pick out your temperature across parts of the state. And then if you go into Saturday afternoon, let's see here, cools us down, right? 80 to Portland, 76 in Salem. Even if this were too cool, you'd still have mid 80s to 80 and still have 80 up in Seattle. So certainly no 90s. And then the bigger cool down comes in Sunday afternoon. Again, this is the American GFS model. Look at all the 70s from up and down the I-5 corridor, 73 in Seattle, 74, 76 in Portland. Now, let's compare that real quick to the upper level ridging patterns, okay? This is the European model, which has been running hotter. This is Friday afternoon. Now, all models show ridging Friday afternoon. If you look at the pressure height in Portland, which is 582, and somebody asked me, hey, what are those 3-digit numbers on these contours? Thank you for the question. So basically, 579 is 10 is, you put a 10 in front of these, 1057.9 millibars of mercury, okay? But the indices that you see on these maps is what we look at. And if you get 582, that's usually 80-degree temperatures, and depending on what else is going on, you could hit 90. So I like our chances of hitting 90 on Friday in Portland. And let's, whoa, that went way too quick. What about Saturday? Well, notice the ridging is a little bit more off to our east. Here's 5, but still 582, 580. You know, a chance we get an easterly to north flow, and a chance we hit 90 again. Now, all models are cooler on Sunday. See the troughing? Remember the GFS dropped us into the 70s? This would be dropping us into the 80s, the European model, with a 579 height, and I'm forecasting 82 right now. Then there's a little bit of a ridge pattern to start next week. Could we get back up to the 90 degrees next week? The European model suggests perhaps. The American GFS model says no way, 70s to 80 at best. And then if you play this into the following weekend, which is Saturday, June 15th, we're much cooler. There's a 570 height. That is temperatures in the 70s with a trough, and maybe there's even a chance of rain. So if you follow that a little bit, I know some of you find it interesting. That's the patterns that we're looking at. More on that in my 7-day. All right, 5 o'clock temps. Medford, 70 degrees. This is a dry 7-day for you folks. 83 tomorrow. Here comes some heat in Southern Oregon. 90 Wednesday, 93 Thursday, 98 Friday. That's that ridge that I think Portland hits 90. 90 Saturday, cooling Sunday, and then a little bit of a warm up on Monday. All right, Southern Oregon for you. What about North Bend? Slight chance of Tuesday showers, otherwise all dry. Wednesday, 63, mainly 60s. Pretty nice weather, though, right? I mean, really nice. Here's Bend, 61 degrees right now. All dry and warming up. 73 tomorrow, 80 Wednesday. 90 in Central Oregon on Friday. That's that ridge. Close to 90 on Saturday. That's that ridge. And then cooling down to start the first part of next week, okay? Let's jump it up to Salem. Scattered showers Tuesday, sunny on Wednesday, 80s on Thursday, near 90 on Friday and Saturday. Could do it. Sunday, Monday, cooling into the upper 70s. These are the National Weather Service numbers. Let's jump up to Seattle. Absolutely rain and then breaking into decreasing afternoon showers tomorrow, 62. Wednesday's dry, Thursday hits 70. And then there could be temperatures nearing 80 up in Seattle on Friday and Saturday, and cooling down on Sunday and Monday. Now, here is my Portland 7-day forecast. And I would rather be too warm at this point and drop my temperatures than drop them too much and have to raise them. So that's where I'm coming from as a forecaster. Early rain tomorrow. We talked about that. Showers 69. Today it was 65. Wednesday, mostly sunny. I'm going above what the guidance is showing, 79 or at least mid 70s. Thursday, at least 80s. I'm going 85. I'm going above guidance, 91 with that ridging on Friday, maybe still 90 on Saturday. And then a nice drop with that trough, that cooling on Sunday, and then warming up Monday. And then after that, some of the models show mid 80s. Some of the other models show we cool into the 70s. But certainly what is the highest confidence is that once we get through tomorrow with showers, it's a very dry forecast all the way into the first part of next week. Hey, I do read your comments. I usually get back to you. So if you have any questions, let me know. Again, meteorologist Rod Hill, my weather site's portlandweather.com. Thanks for subscribing, and I will talk to you soon.